Hey there everyone, it's Dr. Sarah Andreas, and I just wanted to jump on today and talk to you very briefly about how we process things, and just a quick reminder that everybody is going to process the situation we're in differently. And I think that's especially important for us to remember as leaders, is that people process it differently, and not everybody's going to process it the same way that I do. And I was reminded of this because yesterday I was on a call for a group of women who get together once a month, and it was a panelist call. So the other panelist, Erica, who's an amazing woman, she's a mother of 6. She is a full-time stay-at-home mom / businesswoman. So she runs her own business out of her house. And right now she currently has 4 kids who are home from school full time, and she's trying to keep up with everything that's going on. And myself, I have an 18-year-old son and my husband. So totally different worlds that we are trying to process through and work through this. So we were talking about productivity, and my take on productivity is right now is the perfect time to do something very productive. That's the way I function. That's how I handle stuff. I like to control things and make sure that it happens the way I want it to happen. So for me, right now would be the perfect time to write a book, create art, create space, create opportunities, bake something, create something. That's how I process, right? And that's how I make sense of the world and the things that are going on for me. Erica, on the other hand, the way she processes is to take it day by day and to make sure that she's getting all of her business work done and taking care of her kids and the house and all of that. So for her, she was like, hey, one day at a time, maybe sometimes 1 hour at a time. For me, I'm like thinking long term, how can you be coming out of this better in 6 weeks, right? So 2 different ways of thinking about it. Both of them are perfectly okay. But if we don't accept that other people process this differently, that they're going to behave differently than we are, then we're the ones who end up being aggravated and grumpy about what's going on. So here's what I encourage you to do. Take deep breaths. And when I talk about taking deep breaths, I mean, take a deep breath and count in maybe to 4 as you inhale, pause for just a couple seconds, and then exhale really slowly to the count of 4 again, and then pause at the end, maybe for a second or 2, right? So just being very, very intentional about how you're breathing. And do that a couple times throughout the day. Remind yourself that different people process differently. One of the things, and I saw a couple of my friends writing about this on Facebook the other day, was I live in Ohio. So our governor every day at 2 o'clock or 2-ish clock gives us an update. And sometimes his wife comes on and shares recipes. Sometimes they share videos of other things that are going on. And then they get into the meat of the subject that they're going to talk about. And so some of my friends are like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying to me. This is so annoying that they're sharing a recipe. What are they doing this for? And I thought that exact same thing. And then I reminded myself that people process this differently, right? So some people find comfort in that recipe sharing about home life type stuff. That's where they find their comfort, right? And then when they get to the meat stuff and the things that I think are important and some of my friends think are important, that's when they tune out, and that's when they just can't function in that realm, right? So for them, that piece is annoying, and for us, the first piece is annoying. So we just have to remember that people are processing it differently, and how we react makes a difference. So take deep breaths. And be okay that some people are going to find different things comforting than us. And as we process through this, have a better appreciation for people's differences and how that their differences doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it bad. It's just different. And that's okay. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon.